There is a moment, a flicker in time, where your entire life pivots, not with fireworks, not with applause, but in silence, in solitude. When no one is watching, and no one will ever know, it is the moment you decide. The world won't tell you when it's coming. You won't get a warning, a sign, or a flash of lightning. But it arrives, for every man or woman bold enough to confront themselves. And when it does, everything changes. See, we're all standing at a crossroads we pretend not to see. One road is familiar, paved in habits, excuses, comfort, fear. The other, unknown, unforgiving, but forged in purpose, clarity, and fire. You already know which path you're meant to walk. You can feel it, in your gut, in the tension behind your eyes, in that ache in your chest every time you settle. That's not anxiety. That's your soul screaming for permission to live. And what separates the ones who listen from the ones who silence that voice? One decision, one moment of truth, one internal revolution. Every great transformation in history, every empire, every invention, every legacy you admire was ignited by that same spark. Not wealth, not talent, not luck. A decision. When Thomas Edison failed over 10,000 times trying to invent the electric light, he didn't keep going because he was lucky. He decided he would not stop until he succeeded. When Abraham Lincoln lost election after election, failed in business, buried the woman he loved, he didn't become one of America's greatest presidents because the world believed in him. He became it because he decided to believe in himself, even when no one else would. Henry Ford. They laughed at him when he said he'd make a car affordable for every man. They told him it was impossible. He told them, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. That's not just a quote, that's a creed. And behind it is the immortal truth. Your future bends to your decision, not your circumstance. But let me ask you this. Have you truly decided what you want? Not what the world told you to want. Not what's safe, not what's easy. Have you decided that nothing short of your highest potential is acceptable anymore? Most haven't. Most people dip their toe into their dreams like the water's too cold. They try success. They hope for purpose. They wait for clarity. Let me be blunt. You do not try greatness. You commit to it. There is no kind of when it comes to transformation. There is no someday on the calendar of a warrior. Your decision must be absolute. It must be forged in the furnace of pain, clarity, and defiance. You have to decide that the life you're living now is no longer enough, not out of hate, but out of love. Love for what's possible, love for who you were born to become. You don't become extraordinary by accident. It takes deliberate self-command. It takes staring at your reflection and saying, "This is on me, and I will rise." Because no one's coming to save you. No mentor, no government, no lover, no paycheck. Your future is locked inside your own decision to lead yourself. So stop waiting. Your greatness doesn't lie in the next book, the next job, the next guru. It lies in the power you've always had, the power to choose growth over fear, to choose action over hesitation, to choose to become the version of yourself you've only glimpsed in dreams. And it starts now. The clock is ticking, the window is closing, and if you let this moment slip, if you hesitate, the life you could have had begins to fade into fiction. That's not meant to scare you. It's meant to wake you up. Because today, you can decide to be done with the half-lived version of yourself. You can decide that your pain has a purpose, that your past does not define you, it refines you, that your failures are not final, they are fuel. You can decide to walk away from mediocrity like a man leaving a burning building. Let it collapse. So how do you decide like that? How do you summon the kind of resolve that makes failure irrelevant and fear useless? You strip away the noise. You burn the false identities, the ones built by comparison, by culture, by convenience. You silence the voices that whisper, "Play it safe, be realistic, stay small." And you replace them with one voice, your own. Not the voice shaped by childhood wounds or rejection. The voice underneath that, the one that's always been waiting for you to listen. It says, You were not born to be average. You were born to build, to lead, to create, to command. So decide. Decide to become. That's not ego. That's identity. There is a difference between wishing and deciding. When you wish, you hope for the external world to give you permission. When you decide, you give it to yourself. That's how warriors are made. That's how legacies are written, not with ink, but with immovable self-command. Every storm you've faced, every betrayal, loss, humiliation, was preparing you for this, not to stay broken, but to rise with a resolve that cannot be negotiated. Because decision births clarity, and clarity births power. When you decide on who you are, the universe bends. You start to move differently, speak differently. You become magnetic to everything aligned with your purpose, and allergic to everything that isn't. The wrong friends fall away, the right mentors appear. Doors open not because of luck, but because you finally knocked with conviction. But let me warn you, once you decide, the tests will come. Obstacles, doubt, setbacks, they don't disappear, they amplify. Because you've declared war on mediocrity, and mediocrity never dies quietly. But those trials, they're proof you're alive, proof you're on the right path. You don't grow in spite of resistance, you grow because of it. Just like a sword is forged in fire and pressure, your destiny is shaped in the furnace of your struggle. So don't flinch, don't beg for ease, pray for clarity, and meet your trials with steel in your spine. Napoleon Hill wrote it clearly. Every adversity, every failure, every heartbreak carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. That's not just a phrase, that's a weapon. When the world pushes, push harder. When they doubt you, believe deeper. When the mountain looks too high, remember, no man ever reached the summit by accident. They decided, one step, one risk, one impossible climb at a time. So now I ask you, not as a narrator, but as a mirror. What is the decision you've been postponing? The conversation you're afraid to have? The leap you've been pretending isn't calling you? The standard you've lowered to make others comfortable? Decide now that your dreams are not optional, that your calling is not up for debate, that you will not wait for permission, applause, or perfect timing. You are the permission. You are the timing. You are the fire. And from this moment forward, you will walk like it, speak like it, build like it. Not someday, not next year, now. Your environment will try to pull you back. It will whisper, you've changed. Let them whisper. You were meant to change. You're not here to keep the peace. You're here to claim your power. You're not here to maintain a broken system of low expectations and soft excuses. You're here to shatter the mold. Because the decision you make today, to rise, to lead, to command your life, doesn't just affect you. It echoes. It shakes your bloodline. It rewrites your legacy. It awakens something ancient in your spirit, the warrior who refused to die quietly in the crowd. That's what one decision can do. It makes your children walk taller. It makes your community braver. It makes the world different because you showed up fully. This is not about fame. This is not about money. This is about impact. And impact begins when you choose to stop playing the role you were given and start becoming the force you were born to be. Every great person you admire, Carnegie, Disney, Jobs, Mandela, they were just people. People who made a decision so powerful, the world bent around it. They weren't handed greatness. They chose it. They said, enough. Enough waiting, enough mediocrity. Enough living small to make others feel safe. They said, this is who I am, and this is the life I will create. And then they acted as if the world depended on it. Because it did, and so does yours. Right now inside you there is a vision. It might be buried, it might be bruised, but it's alive. It's that dream you stopped talking about because people rolled their eyes. It's that whisper you silenced because life got loud. But it never left you. And the longer you ignore it, the heavier your spirit becomes. That heaviness you carry, it's not laziness, it's not confusion, it's purpose, unfulfilled. And it will haunt you until you make the decision to resurrect it, to believe in it again, to breathe life back into what you were put on this earth to do. You are not average. You are not broken. You are not too late. You are becoming. And becoming requires one courageous act, a decision, not made in comfort, not made when it's easy, made when your knees are shaking and your back is against the wall and everything in your life is daring you to stay the same. That's when the decision matters most, when you choose growth while still afraid, when you choose purpose while still bleeding, when you choose discipline while still broken. That is what separates lions from lambs, kings from crowds, legacy from regret. So no, this isn't just another video. This isn't just words or noise or a temporary motivation fix. This is your line in the sand. Right now, not tomorrow, not next week, now. Because the clock doesn't care, time doesn't pause, and regret is the most expensive currency in the world. You're not here to taste regret. You're here to taste victory, to earn it, to fight for it, to rise every day like the decision was just made, and nothing will stop you. You can feel it now, can't you? That pressure in your chest, it's not fear, it's recognition. Your soul knows the truth. You were not created for silence, for shadows, for scraping by. You were crafted, piece by piece, for something immense. Your heartbeat is not an accident. Your pain is not punishment. Your scars are not shame. They are proof that you've been forged. Forged by every sleepless night, every failure that didn't break you, every voice that told you no. And yet here you are, still breathing, still standing, still capable of choosing to turn pain into power, choosing to make peace with your past, not be defined by it, choosing to plant your flag in the ground and say, "This is who I am now and I am not going back." You see, most people don't live, they float, they react, they cope, they endure, but they don't decide. Because deciding means killing off everything that contradicts your destiny. It means saying no to the easy path, no to approval, no to small dreams that fit inside other people's boxes. It means confronting your own weakness, dragging it into the light, and turning it into strength. That's the weight of decision. It's not light, it's not cute. It's brutal, it's divine. It's everything. And here's the sacred truth no one wants to admit. No one is coming to save you. No millionaire is going to hand you a blueprint. No partner will complete your potential. No job title will unlock your purpose. That's your job. It always has been. Your growth is your responsibility. Your wealth is your responsibility. Your discipline, your joy, your legacy, yours. The second you take radical ownership, the very second, is the second you become unshakable. Because now, nothing is owed. Everything is earned. From the outside, it might look like nothing has changed. You still wake up in the same bed, drive the same car, go to the same job. But everything is different now. Because you are. You've made the inner shift. You've drawn the invisible line. And what follows next will look like miracles to others. Because when a human being makes a decision, a real one, the laws of the universe bend to that fire. Not immediately, not effortlessly, but undeniably. Because the world makes way for the man or woman who knows where they are going. And now you do. You don't need certainty. You need conviction. You don't need guarantees. You need grit. You don't need permission. You need a reason so deep that nothing can pull you away from it. And if you've forgotten your reason, then go back to the pain. Back to the moment you hit rock bottom. Back to the humiliation, the heartbreak, the hunger. Back to the feeling of knowing you were made for more and still settling for less. Sit in it. Let it burn. Not to suffer, to remember. Because purpose isn't always born in beauty. It's often born in fire. And fire is what you carry now. Not the kind that destroys. The kind that purifies. The kind that says, I don't care how long it takes, I don't care how hard it gets, I don't care what I lose in the process. I have decided, and that decision is final. Now that you've decided, walk like it. Move through this life like a storm wrapped in silence. Let your actions scream what your words no longer need to say. You are no longer in the business of convincing anyone. You are not here to be liked. You are not here to be understood. You are here to build a life so aligned, so undeniable, so powerful, that the world has no choice but to watch. There will be days you feel nothing. when the fire dims, when the old voices return. But don't retreat. Don't question the decision. You anchor to it. You hold that decision the way a captain grips the wheel in the eye of the storm, unshaken, unmoved, unstoppable. Because there's nothing more dangerous to the world's mediocrity than a man or woman who has made up their mind. You don't need constant motivation anymore. You don't need to be inspired every morning. You've gone deeper than that. You have become a force. Look in the mirror. Really look. And recognize what's now set in motion. This version of you will build. This version will lead. This version will sacrifice, endure, climb, and bleed if it must. Because the mission matters more than the mood. From this moment on, excuses are beneath you. Self-doubt is just background noise. And fear becomes fuel. Because you've tasted the raw edge of clarity. You've stepped into the arena where legends are made, not by applause but by resilience. And now there is no going back. Burn the old map, burn the old stories, burn the names they gave you when you didn't know your own strength. You are writing a new chapter now, and no one else holds the pen. The author is you, and the ink is action. Every step, every breath, every disciplined decision from this moment forward writes your legacy in permanent ink. It will hurt. It will test you. It will strip away every weakness and leave only truth. But that's the price of becoming who you were meant to be. That's the price of freedom, the price of fire, the price of one decision that changes everything. So now, go. Not with hesitation, not with noise, but with absolute unshakable certainty in who you've decided to become. The world is waiting, not for someone lucky, not for someone perfect, for someone who decided that the cost of staying the same was greater than the fear of becoming great. That's you. Now move and never look back.